What's up, y'all? We back, and today we're going to be watching the face-off between Anthony Joshua and Francis Ngannou. I always find these super interesting to watch. Things tend to get heated in the face-off, you know what I mean? Anyway, no more bullshit. Let's just jump right into it.
They spoke about this fight before, and I said, nah, it's a gimmick fight. It's not something that I think is right. Crossing over when I'm still chasing heavyweight glory, you know?
Is it still a gimmick fight?
No, it's the biggest challenge of my life.
It's the gimmick fight. Fight is a gimmick.
AJ's like, nah, man, this is the most serious fight of my life. Francis is like, I mean, it's still kind of gimmicky, you know what I mean? Like, we're just having fun. I would say this is a gimmick fight, but there's no real gimmick. Like, he's boxing him. Francis Ngannou has already proved himself to be a boxer when he beat Tyson Fury. I feel like this being a whole like gimmick fight with Francis and shit is kind of like over with now. Like, yes, he's an MMA fighter and ex-champion. However, he can also box, and he has proven that he can box. So what's the gimmick?
UFC champion. You know what it is?
But not a boxer.
But there's a lot of stand-up game. And in his industry, people have takedown, submission, stand-up, better at kicking. So when he fights, he's fighting people that have aspects that are good in every category. So he might fight someone who's better than him in stand-up. So I've watched people that he boxes that are good at stand-up and how he's dealt with people at their stand-up game. He knows how to box.
AJ made a very good point with that. As much as the whole thing is like, oh, MMA fighters don't know what they're doing when they're boxing, they still, at least like for stand-up fighters, especially like Francis, who is a fucking bomb thrower, he knows what he's doing with the hands a little bit, and he definitely knew what he was doing with the hands when he fought Tyson Fury. Like, yes, it is crazy for Francis to be doing this fight as his second professional boxing fight, but let's not kid around with who Francis is.
Did you ever consider not taking this fight? When this fight was offered to you, was it a straight yes?
I called up.
You asked for the fight?
I asked for this fight. I watched him fight, and then I made a tweet.
Why?
Right away. Well,
Francis made a tweet.
I know that he was going to fight Deontay Wilder, and I saw an opportunity there. I made a tweet. Taking for this fight.
He's
I was calling for that
so
fight.
coy about
I was
this
ready
tweet.
And like, this seems like an opportunity that I can slide in. Again, this is my second boxing match, and I'm fighting one of the best, one of the top 3. I'm coming out of a loss. Supposedly, we can argue, debate about that, but
See, even Francis is saying that he won that match. We know, come on.
I'm not viewing myself as I depend on the win. I see myself as I depend on the fight. What's gonna happen? Yes, of course, I want to win, but I can win without really fighting. It's not the kind of win that I'm looking for.
You
I really want
fights.
Yes, I really want to fight. And when you fight, even when you lose, people want to see you back. When 2 people go to fight, obviously one person gonna come out as a winner, and one person will win and one will lose. But they need a loser to make a winner, so you can. It takes 2 to tango.
I agree with what Francis is saying here. I hate the idea that like after one loss, someone is immediately cascaded to the side and nobody cares about them. They're irrelevant now. Apparently they were always washed. They got fraud checked. Whatever. Hey guys, if 2 undefeated fighters fight, one of them's gonna lose. Does that make the other person trash? No! There are plenty of fighters that lose and still have people lined around the block ready to see them fight for the next one.
In that fight against Tyson Fury, obviously you put Tyson Fury down, the world went crazy. I saw an interview you did recently where you said if you were to put AJ down with the same shot, you don't think AJ gets up.
Yeah, I have a doubt about that. Tyson showed that he's very resilient. I saw him come back from a knockdown that you wouldn't believe that somebody will come down. So I think he's probably one of the most resistant person out there, and that's not a disrespect to AJ. I don't believe that AJ would take what Tyson
You don't think AJ's resilient? You don't think AJ has a chin?
as much as Tyson.
Who hasn't knocked Tyson down?
Great response by AJ. Hella cold, too. Who hasn't knocked Tyson Fury down? Like, hell, Tyson Fury punched himself in the face one time. He almost knocked himself down.
Do you both expect to get a knockout here? Is that what both of you are built for, knockouts? You did it in the UFC for so many years. You've been doing it in boxing for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
You knock people out, that's what you both do. Is that what we're expecting here?
That's what they want. We'll see.
What do you want?
We'll see.
I'm looking for. I mean,
You know what it is?
Francis is like, what you want to do, baby? We can get it cracking. I hate that question, though. It's such a basic-ass question that's asked in literally every single interview that every single fighter has. So are you going to be going for the knockout in this fight? Actually, no. I think I'm just going to kind of, like, walk around with a high guard and not really engage. I mean, I might win a decision, you know? No one does that. Obviously, the answer is going to be yes.
People underestimate me a lot. People underestimate me, you know. But no, I'm not saying you, but people, innit?
It's not underestimating you. It's
Your
like
opinion.
knockout chaos. So,
But who has knocked me out like that? Like when I'm like this?
No, that is not what they mean. It's like we both are going to look for a knockout.
That's what I don't think.
Which I don't think is a problem, because I will try to knock out if I have an opportunity.
same,
I will knock out,
100%.
and I think he will do the same thing. So we'll make the knockout chaos.
AJ, you're the former unified heavyweight champion of the world, right? You are the boxing guy, if you like, in this dynamic. People are going to be expecting you to get the job done here. That's what they're expecting, right? Because of, again, your 2023 was fantastic. Is it a knockout or bust for you?
The knockout, it just comes naturally.
Do you expect to knock out Ngannou?
You just asked the same question, dude. Move on.
But it's going to be a good fight. It's not even the strength that I carry, it's the brain. I'll process what I need to process, I'll do what I need to do. And I just do my best in it. We'll see what happens, no? You never know.
What's happened. I mean, as you said, knockout come naturally.
But
the only
I'm
time
ready to go. If it has to, you know what's better for me? I'm ready for 10 rounds. 10 rounds or 12 rounds?
10.
10 rounds, yeah.
Why
I'm
is
ready.
it 10? Why is it 10 and not 12?
Oh no, they tell me 12. I say no, cut it out. No. 10.
I fucking love Francis. Addy was like, why 10 rounds, not 12? First off, I hate that boxing has 12 fucking rounds.
I find the very idea of 9 lives absurd.
To me, that's just way too fucking long. Like, I like how the UFC has it with like 5-minute rounds. Granted, obviously different sports, but like, I feel like if the amount of time to fight was shorter, the urgency within the fighters would be a lot more. I hope that makes sense. But yeah, Francis was like, fuck that shit. I'm not doing 12 rounds. No. Real as fuck for that.
I asked AJ if he expects to knock you out. I'm going to ask you the same question. Do you expect to knock out AJ?
Shut the fuck up with this question, please. You're asking Francis Ngannou if he expects to knock somebody out. Yes. I mean no disrespect with this, but like, bro, what the fuck? Stop asking the stupid question.
Absolutely. But again, as he said, I will not go for like, oh, let's go knock him out, because knockout is not.
What's crazy is that they already answered it, bro. They already said, look, I'm what both men essentially said was, I'm not going to be chasing a knockout. However, if I find one, I'm going to hit it.
The only time in my career that I went for knockout, he didn't walk away from me.
He's talking about the Stipe 1 fight. Francis Ngannou, for those of you who don't know, when he was on his rise in the UFC, he was knocking fools dead. Obviously, he's Francis Ngannou. But once he got to Stipe, he wasn't able to connect that KO punch on Stipe throughout the entirety of the 5-round fight. And that fight is exactly what birthed patient Francis Ngannou, the mythical fighter himself. Francis learned so much from that fight, and he was a bit tentative in the next couple fights, but then he got right back to knocking fools dead, including Stipe, and avenging that loss properly. Fucking violated Stipe. Jesus. Francis has learned from that. He's not gonna chase the knockout just aimlessly. Again, if he sees it there, he's gonna hit the button, but he's not going to chase it like an idiot.
Really bad.
Stipe Miocic.
Stipe Miocic. I walk to that fight like, okay, let's go knock this guy out. He ended up in a very bad way for me, right? And then after that, I'm like, okay, I'm just going back to who I am, fight, and then it happened. And then I was knocking people out in 20 seconds, 45 seconds, without looking for knockout. So I don't look for knockout, I look for fight. And then if knockout...
I like that. I don't look for a knockout, I look for a fight.
If I collect the information at some point and have an opportunity, I take that opportunity, and then will probably end up in a knockout.
Final one from me. I want to kind of step back and let you guys tell each other. I'm going to start with you as the challenger here to the former unified heavyweight champion. Tell AJ how this fight plays out.
For me? Well, when I look at this fight, you know, I'm not a fool. I know that AJ is great at his game. I respect that. If I wasn't in the fight, I would have been betting on AJ, but as I'm in the fight, I'm betting on me, and I would take everything that I have in my stomach to come after AJ and do everything that's possible to take him down. And if needed to knock him out, that's how I'm going to come after him. You know, like just as a sport man, but still want to like knock him out. Like, I'm gonna do that, you know, for my own legacy, for my own record, for it. So that's how I view the fight.
I love Francis. Such a respectful, sportsman-like answer.
AJ, you've heard this before from so many guys sitting in the opposite table. Tell Ngannou how this fight plays out.
Good fight. Styles make fights. He's a good switcher. I do the basics very well.
Very well.
I can counter punch. I can move forward. I can move back. I'll do whatever it takes. I will be victorious. I have my own legacy, my own chapter, my own destiny that's destined by God. Everything is designed for me to come and be victorious and move forward in my life and move forward in my career. I'm looking forward to the challenge because...
I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut this moment short, but this sounds like when you give somebody at the table who's never said grace before the opportunity to say grace. They're just kind of bullshitting through the prayer. I'm sorry.
It gives me the opportunity to learn so much about myself. As much as it's about Ngannou, is as much as it's about me. The challenge that I have in front of me only makes me learn about myself. He's not the challenge. I'm the challenge. How far can I go? And I'll do whatever it takes to get past whatever's in front of me. May the best man win.
Well done, guys.
May the best win.
Should be a
Good
great fight.
shit,
March
boys.
8th, live.
March 8th. All right, well, that was the face-off between Francis and AJ, but that's interesting that they changed that. Originally, if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure originally, AJ and Ngannou originally were going to run as a counter program to UFC 299. You know, the one with Sean O'Malley and like the most overstacked card on a regular pay-per-view that like we've seen in a hot minute. So much so that UFC 300 kinda suffered. Maybe they lost confidence in being able to counter program with the UFC, I don't know. But yeah, that's something to know. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. If you made it this far to the end, leave a like if you enjoyed it. Comment your thoughts on who you think is going to win this fight and who you think is going to win Fury versus Usyk when it happens. Anyway, subscribe for more fight content in the future. There you go.
All my secrets and my heart is what I gave to you. In return, you see nothing but a lame excuse. And it's wow, I did everything just to see you smile. I've been thinking about you for a while. Responding to your pics and your vids. Now I see you just do it for the gram. And you talking on your man.